and welcome again to Bringing Positive Effects into Your Life. I'm excited about tonight's show. We have a great guest, a friend of mine, and a phenomenal practitioner in the world of neuro-linguistic programming. He's a coach, he's a practitioner. I'd like to introduce you to my friend, Tom Maloney.
Thank you, Kevin. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm really excited about tonight. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you. You know, our first show was just me. I felt a little lonely, and so I am.
You're not going to have that problem tonight.
I'm so excited. So, Tom, as you know, I'm into the world of hypnosis and neuro-linguistic programming, and that's kind of how we know each other, through neuro-linguistic programming, right? Mm-hmm. But why don't you let our viewing audience know about your background and about what you do in this weird thing called neuro-linguistic programming?
Well, I've taken numerous courses in neuro-linguistic programming. I'm what they call a practitioner. I've actually done those courses 9 times, and that's a 21-day process that I had gone through to learn to become a practitioner. Then I've also a master practitioner, and that was another 21 days each, and I've done that 5 times. I am also a certified NLP coach, which involves using NLP as your coaching clients to improve their life. Also, I've taken 2 different courses with NLP/hypnosis with people out of California, actually.
That's a lot of training. Now, some of my viewing audience might not have seen the last show where I explained a little bit about NLP. Let's talk about this acronym, NLP really is, and what is this stuff you've devoted so much of your life in?
My opinion of NLP, or to put it in a nutshell in my words, is it's how we communicate with ourselves and with others. We build maps of the world, each individually, because we're all different people and have had different experiences. And what NLP has allowed me to take and do is to step back and give freedom to somebody else when I'm communicating with them, realizing that my interpretation is totally different than theirs. Their experiences have been different, and their maps of the world are totally different. So how we communicate, and also NLP has taught me a lot about communication in the sense that 7% of the communication skills that we have is the words we use. 37% is our volume, our tones, how soft we are, how loud we are. But 57% is our body language. I'm telling a whole story just sitting right here now, just where my hands are, how my head is, how my eyes are. And it's amazing today, I find it amazing that we think we're okay just using text. It's only 7% of our communication skills. At least if we're talking on the phone, we're at 42%. And that's not even all the way there. So it's interesting what's going on in communications today. And I think this is a real big opportunity for people like ourselves who have experience in NLP to learn and to help other people realize our communications are very important.
Well, very good. Now, Tom, you're saying that the words I'm using is only 7% of the message I get through?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I probably just shut up, and as long as I'm in front of you, you kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about.
Yes, it's body language, the energy coming off the body. And that's why, think about how many times have you heard today, people texting and everything else, and there's all this miscommunication going on?
Oh, yeah.
We're only using 7% of our abilities.
Wow.
We only learned how to speak 500,000 years ago. Okay? And all of a sudden, in 2 years or 3 years, we can take and drop 93% of our communication skills and think we're okay?
Wow. That's phenomenal.
Think about it. So I think NLP has a great opportunity in this world to make the world a better place.
So I take it in the coaching that you do, communication is a big thing then.
Huge, because I talking with people on the phone, if I'm doing it that way, at least I'm at 42%, and I can pick up after a while, especially when you work with somebody over time, you can pick up what they're saying in their voice. How many times have you individuals have experienced somebody just starts talking, you say, what's wrong? Somebody close to you, husband, wife, children, or whatever. What's up? What's going on? Because that's the communication skills that develop over time. You're not even aware of it, that you can pick up how other people communicate.
You know, when you're talking about tonality and the tone of voice and everything, I'm thinking back, you know, when I was a kid and my mother called me, depending on how she called me, I knew what was going to happen. If she said, Kevin, lunch, I said, all right, yeah, normal thing. If she said, Kevin, I knew.
Yep, or Thomas Anthony.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you knew what was going on.
The tone in the words that time.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that is so cool. So tell me, in the stuff that you're doing today, you bring in a lot of your training, and you've had a lot of training. So what kind of exciting stuff within the world of coaching or otherwise are you doing that you're using all your training for?
One of the primary examples I use of NLP is this seminar I teach. It's called The Well-Formed Outcome. And it's an NLP process. You've done it many a time with me, Kevin. And even when we did it a couple of weeks ago, I got an amazing note the next day from somebody who's done it a few times, how every time he does it, it changes his life for the better, and he never realized how much change came about every time. The well-formed outcome is helping you get clear about what you want. It's not a goal-setting system. It's about what's the outcome that I'm looking for? But done, the way I do it is in a very balanced way. So you're taking into consideration all the different parts of your life, and then going through and you're working your brain, you're asking your brain, the right brain and the left brain, and at some points during the well-formed outcome, there's confusion deliberately, so that your mind processes your outcome in a very positive way.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, you know, right now, as we're taping it, it's January. And a lot of people, what I'm thinking about, a lot of people are thinking about what they want to do. You know, they have their resolutions, but they're thinking about what they'd like to get out of their life for the year, be it, you know, career goals or whatever. So how would someone approach this, you know, so-called well-formed outcome with a goal they might have for the year? Maybe they're thinking by the end of the year they'd like to get a promotion.
First thing is that you take and do with the well-formed outcome is you state it in the positive as if you already have it. And there's magic if you just do nothing more than that. Magic happens if you set your outcomes as if I already have it, but state it in the positive. And it can be something as, I want to be a successful parent. I am a successful parent, doing what needs to be to support my children as things change and they grow and I grow. Mm-hmm. But it's stated in the positive as if I'm already doing it.
Oh, very good. So I don't say I want this. I don't say I want this. I don't say I will have this. I say I do have this, or I am this. Is that correct?
I am this. I am doing the role of fulfilling the role of a great parent, day in and day out. I'm using that as an example.
Okay.
Or I own and operate a very successful business that is teaching people positive psychology, happiness in the workplace, intuition, as if I already have it and I'm already doing it with people.
Okay. So for our viewing audience, what they want to do, what you want to do, audience, is whatever goal you want, whatever objective or outcome that you want, you have to state it as if you already have it. So if you want, you want to make $20,000 or $30,000, it's I have an extra $30,000. If you want to get a job in a certain thing, I have this job. Am I stating this right for the audience,
Yes,
Tom?
it's a great example of this is, and I actually worked with a doctor that we became friends because of this statement. And she worked with people with diabetes. And I was talking to her, and she said, I can't get my clients and my patients to lose weight. And I said to her, lose weight? Why would they want to lose weight? She's been they have a health, something healthy. I said, when you lose something, you're going to go looking for it. If I lose my wallet, I look for my wallet. I lose my keys, I go look for my keys. Now, how can we take that and put it into a positive way. You can say the words, I'm living a healthy lifestyle with my weight being in balance all the time. That way, if it's in balance, you know you're going to fluctuate a couple of pounds. I'm going on a cruise. I'm going to gain a couple of pounds. When I come back, I'm going to lose it. But it's in balance, and I'm aware of it, not lose something that I have to go find. And there's magic in the words. That's what the NLP is always about. There's magic in words that we use.
Yeah, that is something. That's something that people should be aware of all the time, is just listen to their words. And I love that. If I do lose something, I do. I pray to St. Jude so I can find it. I don't want to go praying to find the weight I've lost.
Exactly. Exactly. But subconsciously, the mind doesn't know the difference. I lost something, so I got to go find it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a phenomenal thing for the audience to know, to keep aware of.
It's a very simple piece of NLP.
It is.
Okay, and it's before you do any NLP process, it's something that typically they say you should do is a well-formed outcome. So you're clear about what you're doing.
Okay, so someone gets their outcome shaped or formed in the as if now. I am this. I have this. So what's next?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of tools out there for you to go set up plans and schedules, plenty of knowledge to be had there, but at least you're very clear about subconsciously being aware of what my outcome is and am I working towards that outcome. Okay, there's plenty of other tools. There's great books on how to build business plans, how to make schedules for the year, so on and so forth. That's not what the outcome is about. The outcome is being clear. So when you're doing that, you know, is this keeping me in the correct direction? Right.
Well, that's great. So once they get that formed, now what I've done is I kind of check, because someone might want something and they think they want it, but deep down something internal, deep inside, raises its hand and say, wait a second, I don't know, I'm not sure I want this. How do they check for that?
In NLP, it's called secondary gain. And a lot of times, people doing NLP processes are stopped by secondary gains. And what that is, things that are typically out of your awareness that's going on in the background that may have happened. Let's say, for instance, back when you were 3 or 4 years old, something happened. And this was a way of protecting yourself, that you built this out of awareness action. And it's a secondary gain where I may want to lose weight, but the secondary gain might be, boy, back when I was 3 and 4, I can remember, boy, there were nights I was hungry going to bed. And it wasn't anybody's fault. It's just where we were. We had come out of, a shortage of food, so on and so forth. There's stories that are out of your awareness. So why you don't want to lose weight today, maybe, I want to lose weight, but you can't do it. It might be the secondary gain because your body is trying to protect itself from before, when I couldn't take care of myself maybe when I was younger and have the proper balance of food.
So that's why people can set these goals, these outcomes, and really, really want to go towards it, but something stops them because there is something deep inside, the secondary gain, huh?
And hopefully, with the outcome, you're going to start picking that up a lot earlier than when you're in the midst of trying to achieve this goal. The outcome, during the outcome phase, you've raised these questions and you keep saying, well, why do I feel like this shouldn't be, or whatever? And also, when you're doing the well-formed outcome, there is your mind, both sides of your brain are being used, and there is a point in this where confusion is actually part of the solution. But NLP is so much more than that, and this is just a small, tiny, tiny piece of NLP, but it is the part to open up the doors and for us to grow and change and make the world a better place.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I've used parts of that very often, like the questioning when I say to myself, okay, if I get this outcome, what will it do for me? And that's kind of interesting, because a lot of people already know that. They've already thought, well, I want this because of this, this, and this. But then I ask the questions. I say, if I don't get this outcome, then what will happen? people don't always consider that. Will it be good or bad? Will good things happen? Will bad things happen? But then you go and ask yourself, if I do get this, what won't happen? And no, I don't know anyone that's ever considered that before. And that's a wild question. So it gets me thinking to say, you know, what's not going to be there for me if I do get this? And the last question, which really blows me away, is if I don't get this, what won't happen? It's at that point my head starts to go, woo, woo, woo. But when I go through that whole process, Tom, I really know what I want, and I know that I absolutely want it. And it's just a wonderful process.
And I've had amazing things happen when you ask one of the questions is, what will you lose when you get this outcome?
Oh, yeah, that's
People
a
will look at me
great
like
question.
I got 10 heads. Like, what do you mean? I'm not going to lose anything. I got my outcome. No. Think about it. What will you lose when you get this outcome? And sometimes it's taken a few times for people to understand, wait a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, if I've got financial security, what will I lose? I'll lose being awake all night worrying. I'll lose having an upset stomach. I'll lose worrying about, should I spend $10 on gas or go buy more food? That's what you're going to lose, is a lot of the negatives, but people have to go through this process to understand that it's a two-sided coin.
Exactly, and I will bet once they find out all the negatives that they'll lose, I will bet that they'll really be solid in their desire to go through.
Exactly, and that's what it is. We're building a good, solid base here because, yeah, you don't want those things. Mm-hmm. That's what you're losing is things that typically you don't want, which is why you're making the change.
Yeah.
So it's just building this more and getting it more entrenched. All right, somebody says, gets in the muscle.
Wow.
Gets in the muscle. And then NLP has got all sorts of things. A lot of traumatic work that can be done through NLP, timeline therapy, which helps you go back and address some things that troubled you from earlier life, but you go back with the knowledge of being an educated person that you are today, helping that young child, holding their hands and saying, hey, you did the best you can with the knowledge you had. There are parts, we're talking about parts, there's this thing called parts work within NLP, where we actually separate different parts and different feelings that are going on in our body, and we call them parts, and we address them, and we help to empower them, and thank them for being there, because sometimes they may not be doing what we think we want them to do, but they're there to protect us, and their intent is to protect us. But how do we change that? And these are things that can happen in NLP. Some of the stuff in NLP can happen real quick, and it can be so simple to take and make your life more empowering for yourself and for others.
I know, that's one of the most, that's a fascinating thing about the NLP for me, is that, you know, things can happen just so quickly. Just like that, I've had clients change. It's just an awesome, awesome thing to see.
Yeah, and especially why I fell in love, I really respect the well-formed outcome. I've had more people come to me and say, it's changed my life. Totally changed my life and my direction. People who are in their 20s on up to people that are in their 60s and 70s about it's changed their life. You were there one night when I had done a well-formed outcome a year ago, and the woman was sitting there, we were talking about NLP, and she says, yeah, she says, remember when you did the well-formed outcome a year ago? It changed my life.
That's amazing. It is just so amazing that can happen. It
Yeah.
really is. Now, Tom, for our viewing audience, is there something that they can take home, or they are home? Is there something that they can do that you can walk them through in the last few minutes?
We have this program called Circle of Excellence. Very, very, very simple. It only takes about 5 minutes to do. And what it does is put your mind in the frame of excellence so that your mind and your whole body is working to give you the best results it can. And it's just a physical, I shouldn't say just, it's taking and manipulating the mind and the body into empowering itself and having it be aware that this is a unique situation. It's time for a change. Some people use it when they're going into, let's say, play a basketball game. When they step onto the court, they go into their circle of excellence before they go out on the court. Students, I have a teacher that I know that had like 800 students, and she taught them to do this before they take a test. Go into the classroom, have their own magical circle of excellence, and help them that way. So
Well,
whenever you're ready, we'll gladly take it.
certainly, let's
actually going to use a piece of paper, because actually what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to take and go online to my website, which is tom@climbingthesuccessladder.com, and you're going to be able to download this and use this tool for on and on. I had a woman from Lowell who was going in for major surgery about 6 months ago, and I had done the Circle of Excellence with her. She called me 2 weeks later before the surgery, and she was going to be tied up for 6 months. So it was something major, and I don't know what it was. She called me, she says, that Circle of Excellence is real powerful.
That's
Will you
amazing.
send it to me? Because I want to use it. This is the tool I want to use to get better.
That is just amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. You can step me through it, and our listening audience can, or viewing audience, should I say, can also do this too at the same time.
Okay, what I want you to take and do is imagine a circle in front of you, about 3 or 4 foot in diameter. And this circle is going to represent confidence, personal excellence, and like I say, about 3 or 4 feet in the diameter.
Sure.
And now you're going to choose a color that represents confidence to you. Any color you want, but something that's personal to you that gets you excited about achieving things.
Okay.
If that feeling of confidence were a color, what color would it be? Fill the circle with that color.
Okay.
And now I'd like you to select a memory of a time that you were very confident. Remember a time when you were capable in having a great success at what you were doing?
Yeah.
And I want you to take a moment, I want you to internalize that and relive the experience now. Be there fully and experience this.
Okay.
Very successful. You're having great things. You're in the zone, some people say today. And as you feel the confidence building in this memory, I want you to step into the circle, noticing how the feeling of confidence increases as you enter the circle fully. Let yourself become even more aware of how confidence feels in your body. Feel it all the way from your toes all the way up to the top of your head. Let the feeling of confidence fill you and the circle. And with your mind's eye, look down into the circle and notice the color vibrating with a soft hum that indicates how powerful it is. Okay, and now I'd like to have you step back out of the circle, leaving the feeling of confidence inside the circle.
Okay.
Now think of an upcoming situation when you want to have those feelings of confidence. It could be work-related, it could be family-related, it could be sports-related, whatever. You're at the top of a mountain skiing down the hill, whatever.
Yeah.
Think about what will be present in your environment just before you want to feel confident. Very important. Just before you want to feel confident. This is your cue that you will use to trigger your confidence. As soon as the cue is clear in your mind, tell me what it is.
Just as I'm standing out in front of the group.
Okay? Now I want you to imagine that you are in that situation and you recognize the cue. With that, step into the circle of excellence right now. Imagine being in the situation with these feelings of confidence fully available now. Notice how it is different. Now, feel all of the confidence feelings from your past filling you in this situation now.
Yeah.
And when you feel like it, you can step back out of the circle, leaving a confident feeling there in the circle. Now think again about the upcoming event. Notice how now you have the feeling of confidence as a natural response. So, very easy, very quick, 5 minutes, circle in front of you, confidence in you, put it in the circle, step back out, visualize the future, step into the circle, imagine that you're in that situation that's going to be coming up, and feel the confidence in you, and you will see differences happening.
Fantastic. And they can get the instructions for this
Yes.
on your website. And again, what was that?
Website is tom@climbingthesuccessladder.com.
Awesome, awesome. And they can contact you through there.
Yes.
Well, very good. Well, thank you very much, Tom. It's
Okay.
been amazing.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
And thank you, audience. Have a great night.